Hi everybody, Linda Carroll here from my studio, Gather of Great Things. Welcome to the first Mindful Monday. And we're going to work today on a collage. And I'm going to be using the images from the packet that I put up on Etsy. You definitely do not have to use these, but they are all symbols of rebirth and transformation. I've been working on mine. We'll be working together step by step, and I'll show you how mindful fussy cutting can be, how Zen-like coloring can be, and how you can get into what I call the flow of doing collage work. I know that one reason I love collage so much is because I can just, the time just goes away. It dissolves, it disappears because I am in the flow. I am aligned with my body, mind, and spirit, and my fingers are very, very capable of handling the tools and the supplies that I have. And I find collage to be extremely relaxing and very healthy, a very healthy activity to do and to pursue. So I hope you enjoy the mindful collage we're going to do today. The question, the prompt is, what would you like to rebirth or birth or transform in the coming year? And I think if you do this as the first page of a new journal, or even if you're continuing an older collage journal or art journal, this may be a little bit of a turning point in your work. So I'm going to switch to the overhead camera, and I hope you enjoy today's mindful collage. And welcome to Mindful Monday. I'm really excited about this series, and I have been working this morning on my collage and decided that I'm to the point now where I'm ready to invite you in and work along with me. I'm working with the collage packet from my Etsy shop, and the link is below if you want to work with these same images. If not, hopefully you have images in your stash that you can work with to do this collage. And on Mindful Mondays, what I'm going to do is have a prompt for us to work from, and we'll probably do a lot of different types of collage, but today I'm going to do one of my favorites, and that is working with totems, because the prompt for today, or the question for today, is what do I want to rebirth or birth in my life this year? And it can be anything your heart desires. It can be more creativity, it can be wealth, it can be a healthier diet, it can be more exercise, it can be a number of things. Whatever it is, I want you to try to think of it in a positive way. And the way I look at that is instead of saying I want to lose weight, I would say I want to eat healthier. So it's just a matter of kind of shifting your perspective a little bit and putting more of a positive spin on things. I think that make things manifest in a more positive way. So I have started to fussy cut out my images, and I'm using so far the rocks that were piled up as a totem. Now these rocks have to be balanced, perfectly balanced, to not tumble over. And the way I think of how to live my life is to try and balance out things so that I can be in alignment, and when I'm in alignment, I can then focus on things that I want to happen, or that I want to create, or that I want to manifest. Because when I am in balance, it's easier for me to focus. I get into this place of, I call it in the flow. I'm very present. I'm in the flow, and it's just like I don't really have to think too much about what I'm doing. Although I do start with a very mindful intention in the prompt and what I want to express. But once I get to that point, and I'm going to try and get you there, but it does take practice, as anything does. And I find that making totems, fussy cutting images for totems, can get me into that flow, or some people call it the zone. So I'm going to finish fussy cutting these rocks. I'm using a journal. It is it's a Dilutions creative journal that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's from Ranger, and I like using this because the paper is thick enough. I'm not really sure how thick it is, but it's thick enough. And I also intend to write about these particular collages when they're finished. I do that a lot, and I find that writing after I do my collage makes my writing seem more creative for some reason. I'm looking for symbols. I'm looking at the colors, how they make me feel. I'm feeling the emotions that are flowing through me, and I do like to write about that. So think about, as you are actually cutting out the images, think about the prompt. What do I want to rebirth in my life this year? What do I want to birth or rebirth in my life this year? And just kind of relax into that. Now, when I'm cutting these stones out, I'm cutting them apart, and I just follow the bottom of the top stone. And you can see here, I cut this stone from here. So what do I want to birth or rebirth in my life this year? And I'm going to speed this up and fussy cut, and you can either watch me fussy cut, or you can pause the video and cut out your pieces, and when you're finished, okay, you can pause the video and fussy cut your images, or if you already have your images fussy cut, I won't be too long since I'm going to fast forward this, and we'll get back together really soon. Okay. Okay, I have my basic layout for my collage, and it's very, it feels very peaceful to me. It feels very calm and balanced. There's nothing that's competing for attention in here. I have my 3 that I can travel around through this center of the collage. And now I need to decide, what do I want on top of the white stones? And I'm looking at my images here, and you know, I have no idea what this is, but I really like the spiral in the image, and it's kind of 3D, and it looks like that it very easily could move. So let's just kind of see if this is something that would work with my design. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this bottom area off here, so it'll look like it will balance on my top stone. Okay, I like that a lot. All right, I have my basic layout, and I'm trying to decide if I want to put a border around this this particular collage. You know, I also have this lady, this girl coming out of this lotus blossom here. Let me take a look at that. I love this image. Do I want to keep it in the bubble so it kind of looks like an egg too, or not? Let's see. I love that. Okay, this will save for something else. I love that. So what do I want to give birth to or rebirth this year? Let's see, it could be a business. It could be being more connected. That would be nice. We're all connected anyway, I believe. There is no barrier unless people put protection around themselves and choose not to interact, but they're still connected. I mean, air is something, and air touches everything. So we're all connected in some way. It's something I believe. Okay, connected. I don't want it there. Or do I want it on the egg? And definitely creative. Coming up with new ideas to share with you. And if you only have one thing that you are wanting to focus on, that's great. It's your choice. And you can put this anywhere on the collage. I mean, it doesn't have to be on one of the collage pieces. Okay, connected, creative. I think since I used the totems, I'm going to use the aligned. Okay, I added the words that I want to use and what I want to create more of or birth more of this year. And my word of the year is thrive. And I think I want to include that in here somewhere. But for now, I'm going to glue all this down in place, and then we'll go ahead and finish it up. So I'll be right back. Okay, everything is glued down, and I think that this is going to be my basic collage. And now we get to the point where you get to make it your own, and I get to make it my own, depending on what you want to do with the background and what you want to do with the border, and if you want to keep these images clean and crisp, or if you want to go in and work a bit with those images. I think that I'm going to use my pan pastels, and that's what I use in my Dancing Divas series or art journal. And gosh, we're talking about spring and rebirth and transformation, and I love this blue. So I'm going to start putting this in my background, and I'm just using a little makeup sponge to apply it. And I'm going to put this all in my background, and I want it lighter the farther we get away from the images, and darker up close to the images to give this some depth. So I'm going to go ahead and go around all of these pieces. And then what I'm going to do is go in with my color pencils. You know, coloring is such a meditative, or can be, such a meditative exercise that, and I love it. And I look at, this kind of work as almost meditative once you get into the flow. Now, when I'm talking to you, that kind of disrupts my flow, because I'm used to doing this in quiet and stillness. I might sometimes have some music on, but most of the time I just like it quiet when I'm doing this type of collage. And I don't know, it just soothes me. Applying this pan pastels, very, very quiet. You can use watercolors, you can use markers, you can use inks. If you're more comfortable doing the background before you put the collage pieces down, and you want to paint the entire background one color, and then go in with pan pastels to kind of shade around the collage pieces, you can do that. Myself, I like to work this way. I like to use the pan pastels to kind of shade around the images. Okay, once I get that piece done, what I like to do is go in. Okay, what I would do is go around the entire background with the pan pastel, and make it dark up close to the images. You don't have to be real precious with this. If you end up shading the edges of the image that you're working on, it actually enhances it more than anything else. Okay. Then as you move away from the image, you want to make it, lighter. And then I go in with my color pencil, and I love Prismacolors. So this is True Blue, and I go in and use a sharp pencil, and I kind of start shading around the images, and I lift up. First I start with a lot of pressure, and then I lift up on the pencil and gradually it's a gradation out into the pan pastel, so it's a kind of a smooth transition from the color pencil into the pan pastel. And I would choose one side, and then it will be the right side, for me, usually is, where the shadow will go out further than on the right side. On the right side of these objects, up close, like in this area, it'll be a little deeper, but I won't come out as far with the color pencil, so it kind of fades away fairly close to the object. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this, or at least finish most of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish up the collage. So I'll be right back. Okay, I went in with a larger makeup sponge, and I just went around my page and lightly put the pan pastel down, and I really like that effect. The only thing that I think I'm going to do, well, there are two things. I'm going to ground this a little bit by adding a shadow underneath the bottom stones, and I'm using my Stabilo. This is water soluble, and it will draw on just about anything, even glass. Apparently, I've not tried it, but it's supposed to work that way. So I'm just gonna go under here just like I did with the color pencils, and I'm gonna add a little bit of a shadow here underneath these stones, so that indeed they'll appear more grounded, just like if you're seeking alignment and balance, you need to have your feet firmly planted on the ground. So I want to give my totem stones that same feeling, so they're not just kind of appear to be floating in the air. That would be very surrealistic, and we're talking now about being grounded and aligned, not out there in the weird and wonky world. So I'm just going around the bottom with the Stabilo, and out just a little bit here to the side, just to create some kind of a horizon here, so that we know that the stones are actually sitting on something, but not much. Okay, and then you can go in with a water brush or just a regular brush and some water, and go around the bottom of your stones, and you can see that the Stabilo blends kind of like watercolor pencils. And just gently blend that out into the background here. Okay, so we have grounded the stones, and I think I'm going to do one more thing. I want to have some kind of a little border. So again, I'm going to use my Stabilo and just not being too precious about it. In fact, I'm holding the Stabilo not down close to the point, so I don't have a whole lot of control over the pencil, although I do have some. And I'm just going to go around the outside, and I'm going to go around it twice and not try to overlap the first line. Okay, so you can stop there and just kind of meditate on what you've done. I think that you have, at this point, done the collage. It's very beautiful. It's very calming. It's very meditative. It is indeed very mindful. It's balanced. It's aligned. There's not a lot of surprise in this type of collage. It has a very, very serene kind of look. Although you and I know it would be very difficult to balance a rock on an egg, and probably very difficult to balance a stone on a pomegranate. And definitely nearly impossible to balance a blossoming flower on an egg or a stone or a lotus blossom. But in the collage world, anything is possible. And that's what I love about doing collage. So I may work some more on this. If I do, I will show you next Monday in our meet together on Mindful Monday and doing some guided collage. So I'm gonna close with this. I do hope you have a great day or evening, whatever the case may be, and I send you many blessings. Bye for now.